You got me.
Hi, and welcome back to my channel. I remember in my last video, I said I was going to document my NYT experience. Unfortunately, I got carried away. I made these videos, but I just couldn't find the time to actually edit them and then post them. So I'm back at home now, much more relaxed, and I'm ready to share my experiences with you guys. That night I got my call-up letter. So that night I got my call-up letter, it was just overwhelming. NYC is something that as a new graduate in Nigeria or from Nigeria, you're supposed to embark on. And it's usually done before the age of 30 years, just before you clock 30. NYC is an amazing scheme that introduces you to new places. So that aside, let's move on to when I got my call-up letter. A whole lot of emotions were running through me. I was scared. I was happy. There were so many things that night. I was silly because I remember I pranked my mom that I was posted to Kaduna. What do you think? I think I mentioned Kaduna, but then she was like, "You are still going to go now." I just had this assurance that no matter what, it's going to be a place that God wants me to be. God's willing, I was taken to a place not so far from my home. At first, I was a bit sad because I was like, I've never been to Anambra before. I've never been to Anambra before. That's where I was taken to. I've never been there, and it felt like, where the heck is this place? And I was like, hope it's not one. I started googling, I started browsing about this place. I asked my friends, my female friends, and she was like, she's been there. It's not even far from where you stay. I was like, oh wow, that's amazing. So before I left for Anambra State, I was already beginning to like the place. I left 27th of that month. 26th, I already got some of my stuffs, but then I didn't get a lot, reasonable amount. So 26th, I went back to the market and I got those things that I actually didn't buy. The night of 26th, I packed up my bags. I arranged my box. It was stressful, guys. It was really, really stressful that morning. So I woke up, I dressed my daughter, and I dressed her up for school before I left for camp. And just before I left, guys, I felt sad, felt emotional. So I journeyed from my house to the park. There was not much stress. And then traveling, I used a known park, known bus, because as long as I'm traveling to the States for the first time, I wouldn't want to use a random vehicle for safety reasons. And this is one thing I'm going to advise any prospective core member or anybody that is traveling for the first time. The journey was smooth, it was enjoyable, because one thing I told myself before I left the camp was this: no matter how stressful, no matter how bad it gets, I'm going to try as much as possible to be comfortable. So if you're a prospective core member, don't think about the stress. Enjoy every bit and every process and everything that you do. Traveling was fun for me. I traveled like I have never traveled before. I let every bit of the whole experience touch my soul. It was amazing. That's actually the best way you can live your life. If you want to enjoy life, just be happy. Love it. It will forever remain memorable, unforgettable for you. And that's why I'm able to make this vlog. I'm able to create this video in the first place. Now let me not skip the part where I bought something that I didn't like. It has that physical look of here, but then it was not cheap here. We traveled all the way and then we ended up getting to Anambra State. Yay! That is something to be grateful for. Yeah. It was fantastic. But before I left, I saw a guy that was also going to Anambra just like me, and we were heading to the same camp. I made friends with him, and on getting down from the bus, I realized that there is also another lady that was also heading towards our direction. We teamed up and got a tricycle. Have it in mind. When people know you are new, they will want to scam you. But try as much as possible to at least bargain the price to the point where you can at least, is affordable for you. So on getting to camp, we entered, and then the first thing that happened was the fact that they checked our bags to know if we. And least I forget, we arrived at Anambra at past 3 p.m. Registration was stressful, guys. Registration should be another story on its own. Registration story should lead me to another story, but I'm going to skip that and add it to the next video. Looking for bed space. I was able to get one going out for food that night. So we concluded I concluded my registration at past 7 or almost yeah, it was past 7. And the first thing I did after the registration, after the best phase, I had to go take a shower. I went out to go get a meal. I was told to go to a particular hostel. But then I realized that hostel, the whole bunk, the bottom bunks has been taken. Been staying here for a long time. And I have never really lived in a hostel before. I need a place that will be at least comfortable. So I struggled to get a bottom bunk. I had to go to another hostel. The meal was not so bad, not so bad. The next morning in camp. The next morning, I woke up around past 2. Better to wake up early, prepare early, and sleep if you want to sleep. And that's if enough time for you to actually rest. So I woke up around past 2. I prepared. I was prepared for the day's activities, and of course, I was ready mentally, spiritually, physically, otherwise. I was ready. I was ready to take in those moments. I was ready to absorb those good moments. It actually was amazing. And I'm going to end this video here. See you guys in my next video. Don't forget to give this video a like. This story is not done yet. We are not done with it. See you guys in my next video. And